Good afternoon and welcome to the very first broadcast of the year. In this broadcast, we highlight the news making waves ranging from current affairs, community stories, sports, and economic news. Here are the headlines. Suspected thief fatally shot by police in Windhoek. Erongo region reports decline in festive season crimes. And TB Joshua Megachurch leader raped and tortured worshippers, the BBC finds. I am Glenora Shipura and this is NMH at 1. In our midday news update, a suspected thief was shot dead at around 3 a.m. this morning as he and another man were trying to break into a house in Kombersdal. City police were alerted to the break-in, and when they arrived at the scene, the men allegedly tried to run away while shooting at the police. Police responded with fire, shooting one suspect in the back and killing him. The suspect who fled the scene is known to the police but is not yet arrested. Visual News highlights local stories from across Namibia. Right after the break, we get into that.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
In our visual news, the head of community policing in the Erongo region, Inspector Eleni Shapumba, says that in comparison to other years, this festive season saw a decline in crime rates. Let's take a look.
Well, we can inform the public to say, compared to other festive seasons period, this one was a little bit calm, of course with unique cases or cases with unique circumstances. There was a road accident where a person lost their life on the 24th of December on the road between Caribbean and Usakos. There was a murder case that was reported in Mondesa. There were 2 kids that drowned in Hendisby. We had a case of murder in Hendisby that could be compared to a passion killing on the family day that happened between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Whatever happened, whatever caused that, we do not know. But it was reported that in the process, the boyfriend then attempted also to kill himself, but did not succeed in doing that. Those are cases that happened during the Christmas weekend. And then it became very, very busy, especially on the New Year Eve and the New Year weekend. We had a case of culpable homicide where the young children were driving on the dunes. As a result, the vehicle rolled and then unfortunately a precious life was lost in that accident. We had a case of murder that was reported in the town of Windhoek, where a 53 years old man was killed. And in the process, it's also suspected that he was raped by the perpetrators. We are proud to say we have arrested the suspects in this regard. The phone was traced and we are busy with investigations to that effect. We always indicate to say we exist for the purpose of preventing crime. But if it happens that a crime then takes place, then we have to redouble our effort to make sure that we investigate thoroughly, we arrest those that are involved, and we present the evidence before court so that people can answer to the charges that are brought before them. That is crime combating. We have to thank loyal members of the public for their cooperation, support throughout the year, for commendable conduct during the festive season period, the first phase of the festive season. We are still in the festive season, by the way. And just urge that we should continue doing that, assisting one another. Police are the public, public are police. We exist for one another, and we should coexist, continue to coexist in mutual respect. If there are issues that we need to discuss, we should be approached so that we can advise one another on policing matters. But we are going to engage members of the public again so that we can continue collaborating and ensuring that to provide the satisfying services to the public that we are seeing.
After the break, we highlight news from Namibia's daily newspapers. Do stay with Animated One.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Thank you for staying with Animated One. We now look at what the lead stories are in Namibia's daily newspapers, starting off with the Namibian Sun's front page. Now, according to the Namibian Sun, high-level government delegation is currently in the United Arab Emirates to lobby the Financial Action Task Force not to grey-list Namibia, a decision said to be taken next month. This comes amid concerns that Namibia could soon be grey-listed for missing key deadlines around key legal reforms and ensuring that the country's anti-money laundering laws are watertight. The FATF is an intergovernmental policy-making body that determines anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism standards to safeguard the global financial system. Now moving on, according to the Republican, statistics provided by the Namibian police show that more car accidents were recorded this past festive season compared to the same period last year. However, the number of deaths decreased by 14%. Between the 17th of November 2022 and the 1st of January 2023, the police recorded 382 accidents, 711 injuries, and 66 deaths compared to 403 accidents, 724 injuries, and 57 deaths for the period 17th November 2023 to the 1st of January 2024. The latest traffic accident statistics show that there was a 14% decrease in deaths. Although this may be a positive development, the overall road safety situation remains a concern as accidents increased by 5% during the review period and injuries by 2%, said Deputy Commissioner Petru Swartz, the head of the traffic law enforcement. On the Algemene Zeitung's front page, it reports that after 8 Namibian cheetahs were exported to India in September 2022 with the aim of reintroducing the species there, a second litter has now been reported. According to the Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh, the female cheetah Ayasha from Namibia has given birth to 3 pups that have now opened their eyes. The local Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupender Yadav, announced the birth last Wednesday via X. Now, according to Market Watch, Brazil's exports proved so strong in 2023 that they are rekindling memories of the commodities bonanza that briefly catapulted Latin America's largest economy to unusually fast growth rates in the early 2000s. The nation's trade surplus hit $9.4 billion in December, more than all estimates in a Bloomberg survey of economists that had a median forecast of $7.7 billion. Onto Sports Rep, it reports that an opportunity to experiment with batting and bowling combinations against high-quality opposition was utilized by Namibia Richello Eagles coach Peter de Bruin in 2 friendly matches against the Joburg Super Kings on Friday and Sunday. The Johannesburg franchise is in preparation for the upcoming SA20 series, while Namibia took the opportunity for match time during its build-up to its 3rd consecutive ICC T20 World Cup in June this year. On the Namibia's front page, don't be used by drug lords. Namibian Police Inspector General Joseph Shikongo warns Namibians traveling overseas. He says there has been an increase in the number of Namibians who have been intercepted at Hosea Kutako International Airport with illegal substances. On the Namibian's page 2, still with police matters, the paper reports that traffic officers in Windhoek have issued 1,108 fines in December, according to City of Windhoek statistics. Speeding violations topped the list with 171 fines, while disregarding road signs closely followed, while 86 fines were issued to drivers without a valid driver's license. Economic news follows after the break.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Windhoek.
Hij zei, wie is er aan neertrekken? Hij bal lijkt mij grond gevat. Ja, hij heeft grond gevat. En dan zie je...
But just enough next. Shh.
Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love that. I love that. So then
we kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we
expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
Getting into our economic news, Nigeria's central bank has paid nearly $2 billion in outstanding foreign exchange forwards in the last 3 months in a bid to clear a backlog of dollars, a spokesperson has said, but forex shortages continue to hobble the country's naira currency. Africa's biggest economy has nearly $7 billion in forex forwards that have matured, a major concern for investors, but the Central Bank of Nigeria has promised to pay up to boost confidence in the foreign exchange market. Now, Nigeria's foreign currency shortages have been worsened by declining oil production, which is the country's largest export, accounting for more than 90% of dollar inflows. Ali said the CBN had recently paid $61.64 million to foreign airlines who sold tickets in the local naira currency but have not been able to get their money out of the country. Foreign airlines were owed more than $700 million at the end of November. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.74, against the euro at 20.46, against the US dollar at 18.71. 2 Namibian dollars and 61 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the Namibia Stock Exchange, all major stocks remained unchanged. Overall index went up, closing at 0.54%. On the commodities market, all major commodities went down, with Brent crude oil trading at 2.02%, going for $77.10 per barrel. After the break, we get into news from Africa. To stay with Animated One.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Let's get into our news from Africa. Dozens of ex-Synagogue Church of All Nations members allege atrocities, including rape and forced abortions, by Nigeria's late TB Joshua. The allegations of abuse in a secretive Lagos compound span almost 20 years. The Synagogue Church of All Nations did not respond to the allegations, but said previous claims have been unfounded. TB Joshua, who died in 2021, was a charismatic and hugely successful preacher and televangelist who had an immense global following. The BBC's findings over a 2-year investigation include dozens of eyewitnesses' accounts of physical violence or torture carried out by Joshua, including instances of child abuse and people being whipped and chained. Numerous women who say they were sexually assaulted by Joshua, with a number claiming they were repeatedly raped for years inside the compound. Now, multiple allegations of forced abortions inside the church following the alleged rapes by Joshua, including one woman who says she had to have 5 terminations. Multiple first-hand accounts detailing how Joshua faked his miracle healings, which were broadcast to millions of people around the world. Now, the Synagogue Church of All Nations has a global following, operating a Christian TV channel called Emmanuel TV and social media networks with millions of viewers. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, tens of thousands of pilgrims from Europe, the Americas, Southeast Asia, and Africa traveled to the church in Nigeria to witness Joshua performing healing miracles. At least 150 visitors lived with him as disciples inside his compound in Lagos, sometimes for decades. More than 25 former disciples spoke to the BBC from the UK, Nigeria, US, South Africa, Ghana, Namibia, and Germany, giving powerful corroborating testimonies about their experiences within the church, with the most recent experiences in 2019. In our next story, rescuers on Sunday pulled out all 15 subsistence mine workers who were trapped in an underground shaft at Red Wing mine in Zimbabwe after it collapsed on Thursday. A government spokesman said that the miners were trapped after a ground collapse at the mine 270 kilometers east of the capital, Harare. All miners were rescued alive. Government spokesperson Nick Mangwana said the rescue operation had been delayed due to unstable ground, according to Metallon Gold, which owns Red Wing. Video footage posted on social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, by Mangwana showed the workers covered in mud being greeted by a small jubilant crowd at the mine site. Now, formal mining operations at Red Wing have been undertaken by subsistence miners carrying out unsanctioned work since the mine was placed under corporate rescue in 2020, the company said. We'll be getting into our international news shortly. In our international news, the death toll from Japan's New Year's Day earthquake jumped to 161 on Monday as no complicated relief efforts, with more than 2,000 people still cut off and many others lacking power or in crowded emergency shelters. Authorities said 103 people were still missing after the 7.5 magnitude quake that toppled buildings, sparked a major fire, and triggered tsunami waves over a meter high in the central Ishiwaka region. As of Sunday, almost a week later, more than 2,000 people were still cut off by the damage the quake and an estimated 1,000 landslides did to roads on the worst-hit Noto Peninsula. In the last 2 days, the region has also been blanketed in snow, with some areas receiving more than 10 centimeters overnight, making the operation harder still. Now, against the odds, a woman in her 90s survived 5 days under the wreckage of a collapsed house in the city of Zuzu before being saved on Saturday. After this short break, we'll be getting into our sports news. To stay with Animated One.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
In the world of sports, we start off with our local sports news. The Tafel Brave Warriors got a feel of the Baba Yara Stadium in Ghana ahead of their friendly encounter against the Black Stars slated for tonight. Peter Shalulile, Lloyd Kadapwa, Dion Hotter, Rian Hanumup, and Lubeni Haukongo have all joined the Tafel Brave Warriors camp in Ghana and will face the Black Stars tonight in a friendly match before they compete in the 2024 Africa Cup of Nations, slated to start on the 13th of January. The Confederation of African Football recently announced a 40% increase in the prize money for the winner of the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations 2023. The winner will receive $7 million. Moving on, the Namibia Tennis Association has started the new year with a bang, hosting the ITF and Confederation of African Junior Individuals and Team Championships in Windhoek this week. A total of 140 players from all of Southern Africa will compete in the 2H tournaments that started last Saturday and will continue until Sunday, the 14th of January. After the break, we'll be getting into our international sports news.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
In our international sports news, an own goal by Jacob Kiwior and a thumping late strike by Luis Diaz sealed a 2-0 victory for Liverpool at Arsenal in the weekend's headline FA Cup third-round tie as the hosts' dismal form extended into the new year on Sunday. Arsenal wasted a sackful of chances in the first half and were made to pay as Liverpool captain Trent Alexander-Arnold's free kick glanced off the head of Kiwior in the 80th minute. Diaz then made sure of 8-time winners Liverpool's place in the fourth-round draw as he lashed home in a stoppage time. Arsenal have now lost 3 games in a row in all competitions, and the wayward finishing that has seen them drop down to 4th in the Premier League was evident again as they squandered a flurry of first-half chances. In our next story, Chris Kirk birdied the 15th and 17th holes to polish off an 8-under-65 and kick off the PGA Tour season with a win at the Sentry on Sunday in Maui, Hawaii. Kirk was the 54th hole leader at the Plantation course at Kapalua and expanded his advantage Sunday with 6 birdies in his first 11 holes. The Spanish motorcycle rider Carlos Falcon was flown to hospital with serious injuries after he crashed near the end of Sunday's second stage of the Dakar Rally in the deserts of Saudi Arabia. The race director, David Castera, told reporters Falcon, an experienced off-road rider, had lacked a pulse but was resuscitated by the first doctor to arrive on the scene. Falcon, riding for the Twin Trail racing team, was 76th after Saturday's opening stage. The second stage raced over jagged rocks and winding sand dunes in the Saudi desert was almost complete when Falcon suffered the accident. After the break, we'll be getting into the news highlights. To stay with NMH at 1.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
You're still watching NMH at 1, and if you've just joined us, here are the news highlights from today's broadcast. Dozens of ex-synagogue Church of All Nations members, 5 British, allege atrocities including rape and forced abortions by Nigeria's late TB Joshua, a BBC investigation has uncovered. The Indian Navy on Friday rescued the crew of a merchant vessel after it attempted to hijack in the Arabian Sea and said it had not found any pirates on board. Now, the Tafel Lager Brave Warriors got a feel of the Baba Yara Stadium in Ghana ahead of their friendly encounter against the Black Stars slated for tonight. And those have been your highlights. Remember to tune in every weekday from the 8th of January 2024 at 1 p.m. to spend your lunch hour with NMH at 1, catching up on the latest news in Namibia. From all of us in studio, we wish you a happy new year.